Hello everyone, I'm Payal Agarwal from Vinod Kothari and Company. This video is on a very important topic, understanding the borderline between implementation agencies and beneficiary. Whenever we talk about implementation agencies, it has to be noted that implementation agency is not new under CSR. It existed under the erstwhile CSR rules of 2014 as well. However, what has changed is the position of implementation agency. With the advent of CSR Amendment Rules 2021, the classification between implementation agency and beneficiary has become important, since the implementation agencies are required to be mandatorily registered with MCA with effect from 1st April 2021. Rule 4 of CSR rules specifies the different modes of implementation of CSR. A company can undertake its CSR activities either itself or through one or more specified entities acting as implementation agencies. Alternatively, a company may also collaborate with any other company to undertake its CSR activities. But this is a separate topic and is not needed to be discussed here. Only a Section 8 company, a registered trust, or a society can act as an implementation agency. Also, any other statutory body, that is, any body established by an act of parliament or state legislature, can also act as an implementation agency. Such entities can be either established by the company itself or by the government or any other public agencies. To understand the difference between implementation agency and beneficiary, we need to first understand what an implementation agency is. An implementation agency has not been defined anywhere, either in the Act or in the rules. We can say that where the mode of implementation of CSR activity is not direct, it has been done through an implementation agency. Looking at this, we can say that the position of an implementation agency is equivalent to that of an agent under the Indian Contract Act, the company being its principal. An agent, in general parlance, is a person employed to do any act for another or to represent another in dealings with third person. Therefore, where a company engages an entity to undertake CSR through it, a relationship of agency is created. Such an agency acts as an instrumentality of the company in implementing its CSR activities. The expertise of such entities are used to conduct the CSR activities of the company successfully. To understand whether an entity is acting as an implementation agency of the company or not, we need to look at the indicia of the principal-agent relationship. An agent is required to act in accordance with the directions of the principal. Where any activity is conducted through an agent, the third parties have same rights over the principal as would have been had the activity conducted by the principal himself. Though an agent has a separate identity from the principal, where working in the capacity of an agent, it transacts on behalf of the principal. He does not have any independent rights over such transactions. Whether an entity is acting as an agent or not depends largely on the terms of the contract entered into between the principal and agent. It is mention worthy here that the contract needs not be written and signed. The contract can be oral as well. Since the whole concept of differentiating between an implementation agency and a beneficiary is based upon the recognition of spending under Section 135 subsection 5 of the Companies Act 2013, it is important to understand what constitutes spending. As already said, Section 135 subsection 5 of the Act puts a mandatory spending obligation on the company. This spending denotes CSR expenditure. Whether mere parking of CSR funds to the implementation agencies can be considered as spending to fulfill the CSR spending obligation? The answer is negative. Mere parking of funds for future use cannot satisfy spending obligation of the company. The funds or benefits to be derived from such fund needs to reach the ultimate beneficiary. However, where such funds are disbursed to independent entities whose activities are in line with the activities under Schedule 7 of the Companies Act 2013, such disbursement is adequately recognized as CSR spending, and the entities receiving the funds are identified as beneficiaries for the purposes of CSR obligations of the company. Having said that, it becomes important To understand the differences between an implementation agency and the beneficiary of the CSR activities, let us see what differentiates an agency from a beneficiary. First of all, an implementation agency has the ability to bind its principal, that is, the company, into legal relationships with third parties. However, no such legal relationship can be created by the beneficiary. An implementation agency is accountable to the company regarding utilization of funds. A beneficiary is not accountable to the company regarding how and where the funds have been utilized. An implementation agency needs to be registered with MCA mandatorily. No mandatory registration requirement is for the beneficiary. An implementation agency can be those entities as specified under Rule 4 of the CSR rules. Beneficiary can be those entities whose activities are covered under Schedule 7 or those who derive benefits from the activities covered under Schedule 7. Unspent funds from any program are required to be transferred to the fund specified under Rule 10 by an implementation agency. However, where the funds transferred by the company to a beneficiary remains unspent during the financial year, it does not require to transfer same to any specified funds. The CSR activities should be conducted by the implementation agency within the financial year, that is to say, within the timelines as approved by the CSR committee of the company. However, where funds are disbursed to the beneficiary, the funds are absorbed by such an entity. Actual spending does not matter in the instant case. Having said that, it is important to understand the whole discussion by way of a simple illustration. Let us suppose that X Limited is a company on which the provisions of CSR are applicable. Now, it wants to engage a society, say Cancer Relief Society, for the purposes of its CSR activities. The CSR funds of the company may be disbursed to the society either in the capacity of an implementation agency or a beneficiary. Let us take the first case where the society acts as an implementation agency. In this case, the board will not only disburse the funds but also specify the purpose for which such funds shall be utilized. The spending will be constantly monitored by the board and certified by the CFO of the company. Any amount remaining unspent as at the end of the financial year will be transferred to the fund as specified under Rule 10. In the second case, where the society acts as the ultimate beneficiary of the funds, the disbursement of funds by the company to such society will satisfy CSR requirements. The funds will be absorbed by the society and may be used by the society in furtherance of its objects as and when required. Our article on the same topic can be accessed here in the given link, as also our knowledge center on CSR can be accessed on the following link. Thank you.